The question is, what challenges did I have as an Asian Christian? Okay. That's an interesting question. I would say if I could parse that question, I would maybe first begin by saying, what would the challenge be as an Asian American in this country? Because I wouldn't say it was the fact that I was an Asian Christian that there were challenges. I think it was the fact that I was an Asian American in a foreign country. I came here when I was 6 years old, and my parents, in their deep wisdom, being the youngest of 3 sons, they chose not to tell me that we were leaving Korea. So it was at the airport that I realized when all of my relatives were crying that something was going on. Got on an airplane for the very first time, and when I got off the airplane in San Francisco, it was the first time I had ever seen white folks. And it was a very difficult adjustment, especially going to school as a first grader. I'm one of the few people that I know, maybe the only person that I know that flunked first grade. And I think going through my young years, my adolescent years, my teenage years, I struggled a lot with just identity. Who am I and where am I from? So to give you an example, in the States, growing up in San Francisco, I can't tell you the number of times people said to me, "Go back home." It was lodged in my mind that this was not my home. When I was in 8th grade, I went back to Korea for a kind of a program, and when I was back in Korea, it shocked me when I thought I had gone back home, even for a summer, when people in Korea were telling me, "Go back home," because they knew I wasn't one of them. Because my Korean is shabby, I'm a Korean American, I realized that I'll never really be fully at home anywhere or everywhere. The gospel, I think, has been very pivotal for me. While there's challenges being an Asian American in the larger evangelical culture, one of the reasons why I'm so compelled by Jesus' life was he understood what it meant to be an outsider, marginalized in many ways, being a carpenter, being from Nazareth, because what good comes from Nazareth? I've always felt that he understood so intimately, not just everyone, but especially those that were on the outside. And I think that's one of the most compelling aspects about the gospel message, that it's the gospel good news for everyone, but especially those that have been forgotten oftentimes by mainstream.